I decided to do it the dumbest way possible, where I need to spend a bunch of different money in a bunch of different places,
Yeah.
and it just sort of it became that classic like ADHD hyperfixation where I would like focus on camera and like buy some camera gear, get a couple of lenses,
Yeah.
and then like, but it really helped me as a director because I know every aspect. Like I know how to do lighting, I know how to do camera, I know how to do sound, and I know what
Yeah.
that's supposed to sound like and be like. And it has made it much more realistic. I don't need like production to tell me, hey, sound needs 5 minutes. I'm like, give sound 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and it's really helped overall, but it's definitely a burden of its in and of itself.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely gravitate towards just pure videography and sound, and then also
Yep.
directing when I can do it.
And action!
Hello and welcome to another episode of CineMAINEia Maine Attractions, where I talk with the folks working in Maine's film and TV industry. And this week I have filmmaker, podcaster, and CEO of Ramshackle Studios, Sam Workman. Hey Sam.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. Snowed in at the moment, but otherwise.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Uh my first question, I guess, is what is Ramshackle Studio, and then also where did the name come from?
So Ramshackle Studio is by and large me,
Yeah.
but it also extends to sort of the network. It stands for sort of the group that I make films with most often,
Yeah.
and the people I can always recommend to other people, which is
Yeah.
how I try to run the business. Is make some connections, find the people that I love to work with, and then be able to get those people work as well as hopefully get myself work.
Yeah.
Um, which is of course similar to everybody's process, but I really try to keep the circle ever expanding. I
Yeah.
never try to limit it to the people that I have. It's always the best person for the job.
Yeah.
And then the name came from my first sound studio that I built. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
My first sound studio that I built was made out of old mattresses I got off of Facebook
Oh yeah.
Marketplace, and
Nice.
it just sort of seemed appropriate. And so
Yeah.
even though the studio is like professional quality now, it was pretty
Right.
ramshackle back in the day.
Yeah. You've got new mattresses now.
That's right. Yeah, they're clean this time.
Yeah. Nice. Where did you grow up?
I grew up here in Saco. I moved away for a while, and then COVID happened, and
Yeah.
my mom was disabled, so I moved back to help out, and
Yeah.
wound up building the studio here, and just kept working here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Uh, as a kid, were you a creative kid?
I really wish I was.
Yeah.
I did like one play in high school, and I absolutely loved it. Unfortunately, it was like my senior year, and I was like on my way out,
Yeah.
and and it sort of made me wish I had been doing it all along.
Yeah.
But no, I was just kind of a nerdy, somehow both a nerdy and a sports kid.
Yeah.
And then like I went to school. Well, I went into the workforce, and
Yeah.
it's kind of a funny story. I don't know if you know what Dungeons and Dragons is,
Yep.
but I started listening to. I missed it from playing it in high school, so I was working a desk job, and I started listening to like podcasts where they were
Yeah.
playing that, and I was like, oh well, me and my friends could do this. This seems like a lot of fun. We should do this.
Right.
And also, I could like do something that I feel like is a little worthwhile, and so that was the first studio, which I
Yeah.
guess actually the first studio was made out of hay in the barn.
Yeah.
but it became mattresses.
Right. Right. So you went from mattress stuffing to full mattresses to
Yeah, medieval mattress stuffing to, but no, inevitably that one failed because I didn't know enough, and
yeah.
I started going to school for audio engineering, but they don't let you do audio engineering unless you take some video classes. So
Oh
then I
yeah.
got hooked on that.
Nice. Nice. Um, that play in senior year, being a nerdy in sports, what do you remember? What pushed you to say, "Well, I'll give this a try. Like, I'll try out a play."
So I switched schools in high school my
Mm,
senior year, so I graduated. My graduating class was like 7. It was like super small,
yeah.
so it was like kind of impossible to not be in the school play.
Gotcha. Yeah. Right. Right.
And so when I auditioned, I was like, screw it, I'll go for the lead, and I wound up getting it, so it worked out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. um, and so high school led you. You said you went right into the workforce out of high school, or you tried
Well,
anyway.
yeah,
Yeah.
I took a gap, I guess, two
Yeah.
years, and went into working in medical billing, which a nightmare. Don't advise anybody to do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got so bored sitting down, I started listening to stuff.
Right. Yeah. Very cool. And
Yeah.
so at this time, I mean, what? So it was listening to podcasts that led you to be interested in sound engineering.
Yeah, I mean, I there's so many out there. I don't know
Yeah.
how familiar you are, but like there's a lot of them, and that's
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people out there who think their game is the best, and
Right.
a lot of them are wrong, and even more of them were really bad audio quality, and that's what I
Oh yeah.
started to latch onto was the
Yeah.
audio quality. So it just sort of led me,
Yeah.
from I don't want to listen to stuff that sounds terrible to I want to make stuff that sounds good,
Yeah.
um, and then progress from there.
Nice. Where did you go for sound engineering?
I just went to SMCC. I actually technically still haven't finished my
Oh.
degree. I just sort of I
Yeah.
took a lot of the classes and I started working. And yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like SMCC or really any of the types of schools did do you feel like it prepared you at all for what's kind of what you're doing now? Like just
Oh, I
beside be
mean,
yeah.
not at all. I mean,
Yeah.
like it it showed me how to use a camera. It showed
Yeah.
me almost nothing about how to use a mic, which was very frustrating. They had
Yeah.
one audio class there, and it was mostly about signal chain. Doesn't matter. But I do feel like it prepared me for like the equipment, but
Yeah.
I don't know as any school has anything about like film distribution or like the
Right.
actual workforce experience, which was a huge problem for me because I just was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I'm out here with a camera. Now what?
Yeah. Right.
And I don't
Yeah.
know. It. I was like, at the time, I was one of the top of my class, and I feel like getting out there, you shouldn't have the experience where like if you're in the top 10% of your
Yeah.
class, you shouldn't be out there with no work, period. And
Right.
I just sort of floundered for a bit until I figured it out myself. And so I wish schools in general,
Yeah.
I'm not blaming SMCC for this, but like, I
Right.
wish schools in general would help with that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know how to use a camera.
And so having left school, you've got camera and boom mic in hand. Um, what was your tactic for finding work?
Frankly, it came down to networking.
Yeah.
A lot of it was just, I mean, like I did my first commercial spot, like big commercial spot, down
Yeah.
in Boston, and that was just like a friend of mine had moved down there, and like 3 other people had refused to be the PA,
Huh.
and then I wound up, a buddy of mine down there, was one of the people who couldn't do it, and I was like, yeah, I can do it. And so I went down to Boston and just worked there out of a
Yeah.
hotel for like 3 weeks, and it
Yeah.
was great. And then once I knew them, they tossed me some other work down in Boston, and it just sort of it steamrolls. I'm sure other people have found better luck on like the websites. I have
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Nice. Um, so I guess we might lead you into. So by this period, uh, had you already thought about starting like your own business, like a studio or something like that? Did that kind of get
Well,
born out of that frustration a little bit too?
one of the things my videography professor encouraged us to do was start an LLC right from the get go.
Yeah.
So I just sort of, like I said, I was in mattresses at that point, so
Yeah.
I just sort of was like, what's a good name? And
Right.
I started that back in college and just
Yep.
sort of stayed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Um, so I guess I want to talk about, I guess, maybe some of the earlier projects. I'm assuming just by the description, like the Bigfoot project was early on. Is that correct?
Yeah. I think that was my advanced video on location final.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was goofy. That was a goofy rig too. I remember sending it to there's an Instagram account called Shitty Rigs. We just
Okay.
had we just had a monopod with like a full cinema camera on it, and then
Yeah.
I had duct taped the shotgun right to the bowl.
Nice.
Yeah.
Uh, why why was Bigfoot your where did that come from? I mean, like, is that something you were interested in, or you just wanted to do something out of the box?
I mean, we were just interested in doing something we thought would be, curious to investigate.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of us were like, I freaking love Bigfoot. I don't know what just happened to my camera here. Sorry.
So I was curious about what kind of led you to want to develop all these different disciplines, audio, then camera work and everything else. Uh, what made you interested in kind of just pursuing everything?
I think, to be perfectly honest, I think the ADHD had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
It's just sort of, I never was really satisfied being in. I was always looking for something else to learn, and
Yeah.
so, there's always something to learn once you get into, let's say I was just focusing on audio, which frankly is most of my work now. I do a
Yeah.
lot of location sound mixing, and there's so much you can learn, but you sort of hit a roadblock at like,
Yeah.
I just need more money to buy, like a Sanken costs 11, just a lav mic that's like good is like $500,
Yeah.
and like if I'm gonna outfit 6 people with that on a set,
Yeah.
it becomes kind of like that plus all the gear just becomes prohibitively expensive. So you can learn all you want, but at a
Right.
certain point, it's like, oh, I need to like take out a business loan to get gear, and so
Right.
like I decided to do it the dumbest way possible, where I need to spend a bunch of different money in a bunch of different places,
Yeah.
and it just sort of it became that classic like ADHD hyperfixation where I would like focus on camera and like buy some camera gear, get a couple of lenses,
Yeah.
and then like, but it really helped me as a director because I know every aspect. Like I know how to do lighting, I know how to do camera, I know how to do sound, and I know what
Yeah.
that's supposed to sound like and be like. And it has made it much more realistic. I don't need like production to tell me, hey, sound needs 5 minutes. I'm like, give sound 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and it's really helped overall, but it's definitely a burden of its in and of itself.
Yeah.
I definitely gravitate towards just pure videography and sound, and then
Yep.
also directing when I can do it.
Yeah. Nice. Is there anything out there now that you pull in inspiration from? Any movies or anything like that that you kind of?
I have a curious relationship with just movies.
Yeah.
I didn't like have TV until I was like 14. I mean, like we had
Yeah.
my dad gave us the French channel because he wanted us to learn French, and we
Okay.
had like the news, so it wasn't like
Yeah.
totally sheltered, but it was just sort of like you watch movies when you went out, and I feel like a lot of cinephiles have like this
Right.
basis of knowledge that I don't have.
Right.
But I mean, I've seen thousands of films since I was 14, so I
Sure.
draw a lot from all of them. But
Yeah.
it's at this point it's less of like oh, I love that, I love that, and I have a bit of nostalgia for like this shot, and it's
Yeah.
more like, oh, that shot's very cool. I like how they moved the camera here, and I'll take notes and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's more of an academic study for me than I think it is for some folks.
Yeah.
So I don't have any like specific area I draw inspiration from. It's
Right.
more everything I see, I grab what I like. And I mean, everybody's got a shot from David Lynch. Everybody's got like, hey, I want that shot from Fargo.
Right.
Everybody's got one or two, but
Yeah.
I don't think I have any specific like I love
Yeah.
this guy.
Right. 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 Uh, are there any Are there any films that you haven't seen that you feel that you're almost like embarrassed to say you haven't seen?
Yeah, it constantly comes up that I haven't
Yeah.
ever finished Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've seen like, I don't know, 60% of it.
Right, 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 right. Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, for me, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen. And it does surprise people sometimes where they're like, oh, it's like I've never seen like It's a Wonderful Life, for instance.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a standard or Citizen Kane. I've never seen Citizen Kane, and stuff like that. It's those like standard ones that like, oh well. I mean, you can't see them all. I mean, there's
Yeah. That's
hundreds
impossible. There's,
hundreds of thousands. Yeah, nice. Are you? Is there anything that you're watching now that you're just interested in?
I've been watching House, and
Yeah,
we've been playing like either during the daytime it's like we're drinking seltzer, but
yeah,
we'll have like a beverage at night, and we'll play like how many times has he committed malpractice.
right. Yeah, nice.
Um, so we're just watching that for fun, but I've also
Yeah.
been recently watching the Fargo show, not the movie,
Okay.
and so I've been liking a lot of shots from that.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I've not seen the show. I've seen lots of House, but not lots of Fargo. The show.
Yeah,
I've seen the movie, but it's been a while.
yeah,
But
it's a it's an interesting movie.
yeah. Yeah. So when you look into the future, what is your vision for Ramshackle, or even just yourself as in your career?
Yeah. I would love to make. I'm currently writing a couple of features. One for distribution, one for like, hey, I actually want this to, be my dream project.
Yeah.
And I would love to get those made. Unfortunately, a big part of that is financing.
Yeah.
So, got to do that first. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's the current big goal is to
Yeah.
get those two movies made. We're also, the rest is just I would love to work on cool stuff,
Yeah.
interesting things that keep the ADHD at bay, keep the
Yeah.
keep the creative juices flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then ideally, long term goal, employ everybody I've worked with to that I liked working with, build out a full, studio, even a soundstage. I mean, right now we're in pipe dream territory, but,
Yeah.
um,
Absolutely.
you know, do something big, and
Yeah.
create more of assist the film industry in Maine overall.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
definitely. Um, how? What would you say is the biggest benefit and I won't want to say deficit, but in lieu of another word, of ADHD and what you're trying to and what you are trying to do?
Yeah, I mean, definitely having uh buying gear for 8 different
Yeah,
disciplines is a bit of a deficit.
yeah,
Um, but I would say the lack of administrative ability, big part of ADHD is executive dysfunction.
sure.
And so like the actual sitting down and like doing the spreadsheets, sort of like the overall type A behavior,
Yeah, yeah,
becomes kind of hard. And so when you're trying to finance films and do some of that behind the scenes stuff, it becomes
yeah,
a curiosity how you're going to get dopamine that day, you know?
yeah, yeah. Nice,
But
nice.
yeah, I'd say that's the biggest drawback.
Yeah, but I'd say it must, but it must be also a benefit in other ways. Like uh, 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 you know, uh, you do, like you said, you have all these disciplines, but now you have them. So that's certainly something that positive, that comes out of that. So that
Yeah, and that's how I always justified it to myself.
yeah,
It was, this will make me a better cinema person overall. Let's just
yeah,
keep trucking, and eventually I won't have nothing in each department. I'll have a little bit in each.
right,
um,
yeah,
so yeah, I just kept pushing towards that, and eventually, yeah, I got a little bit in each department.
yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
I think probably with what goes along with that, not only is the variety of skills you have, but the variety of projects, and some of those are your own podcasts. And so I just kind of wanted to talk about. It seemed like the first one was maybe clam bake. Is that correct, or was it?
yeah. I mean, we did a 5 episode run. It doesn't really matter. It was never released, but we did this show called Rolling the Bones for a class that was
Okay.
just like a map generation
Yeah.
thing. And but yeah, Clan Bacon was the first released one, and then Tertiary Sports was our
Yeah.
second. And then there was a hiatus, and now we have, now that we have the full studio,
Yeah.
we're doing a D&D podcast finally,
Yeah.
called Lobster Roll,
Nice.
ROLE,
Yeah.
and yeah, we've been doing live shows around Portland, and we've been recording the podcast in house, and yeah, hopefully someday it'll be ready for release.
Right. Right. um. So let's go back just a sec for so clam bake incident. What started that? Like, yeah.
So my buddy Reed, who's a creative partner, he does pretty good comedy and
Yeah.
has lots of interesting ideas. And so I work with him writing a lot. But he came to me with this idea of like, all right, what if um what like trying to find a good way to something to compare it to. This is kind of like a Welcome to Night Vale that doesn't know it's a Welcome to Night Vale. If you know
Okay.
that show, it's essentially two idiots go and like they need a studio. They need a studio space, and so they
Yeah.
wind up renting this boathouse from this crazy person. And then finding out the town is crazier and crazier.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotcha.
And so the best way I can describe it is like eldritch comedy.
Yeah.
And so it's really just comes down to them being idiots in town
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
finding out more weird things. But that was Reed's base idea, and then we just tossed it back and forth. We
Yeah.
actually started recording a season 2, which I was very excited to release. And that fell through after Reed.
Yeah.
He moved out to Nevada for a while, so it just sort of fell apart. That
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Tertiary Sports, but say
Yeah.
la vie.
Yeah. Yeah. And tertiary sports sounds like it just was about weird sports.
Yeah, that one was
Yeah.
actually a lot of fun. It was much simpler to write, like creatively to write,
Yeah.
but it gave us a much larger output for the comedy. Like it just became an improv comedy show.
Yeah.
Um, and we actually released a separate section that we did like improv for warm up, and it was good enough that we turned it into this little Patreon exclusive show called Improbable.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and it was great. We'd write up these stories about whatever weird sport we were on that week. Man versus
Yeah.
horse. Cheese rolling. Whatever, and and we'd tell each other about it while the other one was like, "What are you talking about? That's stupid."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Um, have you ever seen? It's on YouTube now. The I don't know if you're familiar with the Sklar brothers, Jason and Randy Sklar. They're comedians, and they have a show in the '90s called Cheap Seats, where they also talked about this kind of tertiary sports thing.
Oh, cool. I've
And
never heard of that.
yeah, I think there's just a couple seasons. You might recognize them if you don't know them by name, but they're twins. They're twin actors, comedians, or whatever, and it's just called Cheap Seats. But that kind of what reminded me of what you were doing.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Yeah, we looked for similar stuff, and it gave me a lot of qualms with how podcasting platforms sort their media.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is not. Yeah, this is just a show that they had in the. It looks like early mid '90s just by the look of the thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, very cool. And then Lobster Roll is you guys' D&D. I see you do, like you said, you do live events and things like that. Is that like a you're doing a live game essentially with people, like a I want to say not a board, but a bunch of people. I
Yeah, yeah.
honestly don't know the
Um,
characters.
yeah, so we have a lot of talented actors as part of the I guess lobster roll troupe. I don't know exactly what to call them.
Yeah, yeah,
But so we bring them up. Sometimes we bring a guest up, and then
yeah,
it's just whatever is fun. So I mean, like we'll tailor it to the venue. We did a show at Novel that was all about like, you roll and you wind up in a different book.
oh yeah,
And we did some other stuff that was location specific, but it usually just equates to like whatever is most exciting to the group.
yeah,
And then one person tells the story, the other people play the story, and
yeah.
the audience can interact with it. So
Oh nice.
we have tokens that you just buy at the merch table. They're inexpensive; it's like $1.
Yeah,
But you can interact and influence the story that way. So sometimes they'll just be like plus ones, minus ones to
yeah,
people's rolls. But other times, for like a Christmas show we did, there was, I forget what the plus, what like the green tokens did, but the red tokens just summoned a goblin, and that I had to deal with,
yeah,
in like an improv way, and that was a lot of fun. The audience bought a lot
yeah,
of those and caused a
yeah.
lot of problems in the story. And so they have a very direct influence, and the audience seems to like that. So
Nice.
I'm glad we could bring that.
Very nice. You're the dungeon master typically during those shows,
Yeah,
or yeah,
yeah. So I DM the like recorded show.
yeah,
By default I do a lot of the live shows, but we
yeah,
switch out. I'm trying to think. I think Mara Monahan and Kyle Aarons have both DM'd shows for us, who are
yeah.
currently part of our troupe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you find it? I've not played D&D myself, but do you find it hard to think up compelling stories, or especially when there's a improv component?
I I really thrive in an emerging story setting.
Yeah,
So like it's excuse me, it's
yeah,
relatively easy to come up with a premise. It's a snowy day outside, and you are someone who was cold and their
Yeah.
car broke down. Like that's just basic improv premise.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's down to like the other actors who are on stage to like influence whatever I've said, and then I
Yeah.
can just roll with it. And it's
Yeah.
it's nice because I have to look back and like think about the notes that I've taken so I don't like mess up
Yeah.
continuity. But like other than that, it's pretty solid in terms of improv. You just let the story come out,
Yeah.
kind of have
Interesting.
a beginning point, and sometimes you have an end point, but more often than not, it's like a just a vague sense of where you're going.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you said something interesting which I never really think of in that D&D story doesn't have to be medieval or whatever. So I thought that that's just something I never really think of with D&D, but that was an interesting point.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, you can play anything now.
yeah.
There's even systems for all that stuff now. There's just D20 modern if you want to just go basic, but you also can do stuff. I mean, look, I don't want to get too nerdy here, but
No,
you
no, do
you
it.
due to a lot of things that happened, Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast, which owns D&D. Due to a lot of things up there at the top of the line, Hasbro was
Yeah.
like, D&D is under monetized, and then they screwed everything up. Uh,
Yeah.
and uh, and due to a lot of that, there's been an explosion of different systems coming out
Huh.
that people have really latched onto. Blades in the Dark, Twilight 2000. I can name them
Sure.
all day, but like there are literally thousands of systems
Yeah.
people have made for every single scenario you can wrap your head around. And more often than not, it's easier to adapt something to something different that you want to do. But you can find something tailor made to like everything. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you see the movie with Chris Pine?
I did. I was
Yeah.
I was into it. A
Yeah.
lot of people were on the fence, but I think that's just sort of like everybody's being a little bit
Yeah.
precious about the thing they love.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it with my dad. I thought it was good.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
liked
They
it.
definitely got the bard being stupid in there, which I think was is a classic D&D trope.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing is having never played it, I'm sure movie means more or has more of these things that come, from the game, which I, maybe thought was funny in the movie, but didn't really, you don't really get unless you.
That's frankly what I liked about it is they did
Yeah.
a pretty good job of balancing. Oh, I've never even heard of D&D,
Yeah.
and like including a lot of things that were like, hey, I play D&D religiously, and I can
Yeah.
latch onto these things. So
Yeah. Very cool.
yeah,
I think the the last thing I really wanted to talk about was you participated in the Maine Fall Film Challenge last year. I guess now it would be last year, and
yeah.
you got a couple of accolades out of that. So I just kind of wanted to find out about your experience with finding out about the challenge and the film that you made, and that whole process, and working within that time constraint and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I did a shoot with the Allen brothers, and then I did a shoot with Gemini Entertainment,
Oh,
both of
okay.
which turned out pretty good. Um, and Yeah, I mean, I found out about the challenge years ago in sort of a peripheral way,
Yeah.
and it was during the winter, which turned a lot of people away from it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
moved it to the fall, and it just became a thing. Enough people were doing. I sort of wound up on a couple projects,
Yeah.
um, and yeah, it was honestly great. I love the condensed nature of them.
Yeah.
However, it really winds up sacrificing a lot of the organization of a normal production.
Yeah.
I really wish there was like hey, you have 2 weeks challenge. I don't think anybody's
Mm.
ever gonna make that, but like,
Right. 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 Right.
but like it would be so much fun to just like be like, oh, okay, well, like these first 3 days are pre-production. I've taken 2 weeks off of work. We're gonna do this project,
Right.
And I think you could really create some like genuinely film worthy stuff, at least short films.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
then if you were to expand that out, you could of course the pressure that it puts on you
Yeah.
is really good for the creative because it just puts you in this pressure pot of like, hey, let's brainstorm. Everyone's here. Nobody has any other commitments. It's like we're
Yeah.
here to do this thing, and I freaking love that. I mean, it's just especially having ADHD. It's very much like I'm here to hyper focus on creative stuff because that's what makes me happy. And now
Yeah.
you guys all have to do that too, so it's great, you know.
Yeah. 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 Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And so you were uh you were doing camera work or something like that for these projects. They weren't necessarily your projects that you were trying to get
Yeah.
made. Is that correct? All right.
Yeah.
That's the
I think I
confusion that
did.
I might have had. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did sound for one and video for another.
Nice.
And then I also did, small crews. I also did stunt coordination and SFX.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
which we
cool.
won an award. We won an award for the best use of the book. So
Uh,
I'll take that,
yeah. Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, perfect. What do you have upcoming that you're excited about or you want to let people know about?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, right now it's the winter. I'm sure it's pretty similar for a lot of people. It's pretty dead in terms of commercial work.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of opportunity to just get writing. Unfortunately, I have recently we lost my mom over the holidays, so it just sort of took
Yeah.
up a lot of time. That became the main focus.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but after we come out of that, I'm gonna keep working on some of the writing. I
Yeah.
have a lot of weddings and stuff that were filmed in the fall that still need editing, and so I get to sit at a desk for most of the winter.
Yeah.
Yay!
Right. Nice. Nice. Do you when you're doing a wedding, is it just you or do you have some backup?
It depends. I
Yeah.
do a lot of second shooting for photo and video, and then when I'm working prime on a wedding, it depends on their budget. If they can
Yeah.
only pay me $1,500, it's usually me with one camera.
Yeah.
Desperately running around and trying to place mics.
Yeah.
But
Right.
in an ideal world, their budget is a little bit bigger than that, and it's two, maybe even three people.
Yeah.
And we have a little assistance, a couple more cameras, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Do you have any is there any are there any like little I don't know, I want to call them I want to say bits, but I mean that's a comedy thing, but are there little bits or something like that that you fall to like with the wedding like that you maybe I don't know, like I think about like in TV, they always have like the camera, and they're like, "Oh, tell the bride and groom something." Do you have any of those like little bits
Yeah,
that you kind of fall to? Yeah,
I generally go for a more candid angle,
yeah,
but yeah, I if it's kind of dead, I'll start doing bits like that.
yeah,
I'll run up to people and they're like, "You got anything to say to the bride and groom? You want to leave a message?"
yeah,
This last wedding I worked for, they had a little phone where you could leave a message, which was great. I just set up a camera there and
yeah.
left.
Nice.
That was great. But yeah, I don't have
Yeah,
anything specific that I turn to, but like yeah, if I see that or there's a bunch of different like specific shots for like the actual bride and groom. If they're doing private vows or something, there's like
yeah.
a routine that I usually run through.
Okay.
Um, it's it varies. There's always in the moment you go, oh, this would look cool, and let's position you here.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
always a little bit different.
yeah. Very cool. Um, where does that I where does that confidence come from to just like this is their thing, but you're saying let's stop for a second. Like, did you have to build that up, or is that kind of natural for you?
I mean, luckily I had the opportunity to do a lot of second shooting before I started doing my own weddings.
Yeah,
So it came from, oh, other people are doing this. This is kind of a thing. And
Yeah.
then the rest of it's just do it scared,
Yeah.
Inevitably you're gonna run into like a bridezilla or a mother of the bride that sucks, or a groom
Yeah.
that's just angry that you're there for no reason.
Yeah.
There's gonna be weirdness, and it's really just, hey, you paid me to be here. Like, let me do what I can, and
Yeah.
yeah,
hope
for the best.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. Well, I always kind of finish off with this question, which I'll modify slightly. So, my question is, do you have a favorite movie, or do you have a favorite like series of movies? Like,
I would have to say, I don't know if it's the best movie overall, but I really have a soft spot for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the movie, and then like anything in that vein, is sort of, like the Discworld series was really weird and like nobody saw, but I was really into that. I couldn't even find it on streaming platforms. I had to like go and buy it, and I only knew it existed because a buddy of mine was like really like into Discworld. But no, I really like that kind of dry British, like really cool settings, but also very dry comedy that's just sort of sprinkled in both in world and by the characters. I always liked that.
Hitchhikers is great. Very good. The book, I mean, I think but the movie goes through like 1.5 books or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But good. Very good choice. Well, Sam, I want to thank you very much for, taking the time to talk with me, and really wish you all the luck, with Ramshackle and everything that's coming up. Sounds like you're heading in the right direction.
Here's hoping.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
CineMAINEia is hosted and produced by Derek Brown, Mike Pritchard, and Nick Costigan. Editing and sound design by Bud and Bird Media. Email us at mainfilmpod@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram @CineMAINEia.
All right. Well, see you later.